And I'm live. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to the day before Christmas, or the breakfast before Christmas, we may call it. We're going to cover some fun things. We're watching Miracle on 34th Street, one of my favorite Christmas shows. Well done. So first of all, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Quick shout out to Cutco Knives, one of my sponsors. I have quite a few of his knives, and this is the latest one. I actually purchased this one when I was visiting him in Utica because I like him so nice. This is the best peeler I have had to date. So these are the ones that he sponsored. Well, I purchased this one to begin with, and then the top and bottom are sponsored ones. So please go see my buddy at Lucky O'Day, Cutco.com. I find the knives to be very low quality, and I definitely enjoy using them. They're backed. The subscriber Steve Lyons had his for over 40 years. So hopefully I'm coming across clear. Nice thing about cooking when it's this cold, as long as it's in the background, it should be all right. I'll let you know if it's too loud. So the nice thing about cooking in the kitchen is you heat up the kitchen. Let me pull this down a little bit so you can kind of see my work area. So I have all the secondary heats going on. I'm going to do a quick rinse on the frying pan. I try to limit the amount of soap I use when I'm cleaning cookware. With cast iron, I won't use any dish soap at all. Merry Christmas, Christopher. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, the picture is the first selfie I took with the wife when we were dating. And it actually was a full-size Canon ELOS camera. So I held out, it had an autofocus on it, and took that picture with my hands. So I was doing selfies before selfies were a thing. You see, I invented them, except I didn't get the patent out. Darn it, missed out. So getting ready to cook some heavy breakfast. I had that dove come back on the deck again today. I was able to catch it surprisingly easily and let it back out into the wild. If it comes back tomorrow, then I'm going to be a little suspicious that it may be doing it on this. Turn the coffee off. I think we're done drinking that. So I got my candelier lantern going. Now these things are supposed to put out about 5,000 BTUs. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but it does put out a lot of heat. So first of all, we're going to put in some bacon, because it ain't breakfast unless there's bacon involved. And then I'm going to do the sausage a little bit different this time. I've got Italian pork sausage from Steniger Foods. Now, Steniger is a local place out of Fairbury, Illinois. So it's about 40 miles down the road, and I do like buying their sausage. They have great sausage. So I'm putting about 4 pieces of bacon in there. That should give me enough grease to cook with. I will put the sausage in at the same time. I will make them a patty, and then I will break them up later on. So first of all, I do a little slice. Remember, always cut away from the body. And you don't cut yourself with a sharp knife. You cut yourself with a dull knife. Why is that? With a dull knife, you're going to be, and then it'll finally break through, and then usually there goes something there. So always be careful. Remember, keep your knife sharp. So I'm going to use about half a pound of sausage. It's also sausage we use for biscuits and gravy. I'm going to break it up in pieces, kind of chunks. And then just like with hamburger, I'll break those chunks into smaller chunks as they get cooked. I kind of wash my hands as I go. Trying to keep up with the never-ending dishes. So let's see who's popped back in here. Twisted Pixie, good morning, Merry Christmas. So I was able to get that dove outside yesterday. It came back inside again today. I walked out there, it flew back and forth, finally it landed. I picked it up and I let it back outside. I know, it's almost like Christmas vacation. The good cousin, I usually eat these things. And I usually do eat dove, but it's not on the menu today. So it'll be funny to see if it shows back up again tomorrow. If it does, then I guess I've got another pet. Bad enough with a raccoon come up to the deck. We have a possum come up to the deck. They're friends of the cat. Cat has no problem with it. Prepping artist, Merry Christmas and good morning. How we doing? So today this is going to be a nice relaxing day. While I've got that cooking, I'm going to do some. So here are the candeliers I use. Supposed to put out 5,000 BTU. I don't know if that's exactly true, but they do put out a good amount of heat. The candles are a 5-hour or 9-hour candle. And then they do take a little bit of getting the residue candle off of them when I replace them. Now what I did is during the year, I waited until the items were on a good price. So I have 4 of these candeliers, and I do use them as kind of secondary heat. It's hard to get the rest of the wax off, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it on, reload the new candle in there, put it over the spring, carefully, put the spring back over, and you lock it in. So I usually wait until these were on sale or on clearance, and then I bought them in quantity. And they're really saved for days like today. So when it's sub-zero out there, they're called flying rats, and those are pigeons. This is a dove. I do remember the pigeons in Chicago when I went to college there. Well, flying rats in Chicago, yeah. Those are pigeons. This was a dove. Pigeons, pigeons are a dirty bird. This farmer used to give us free shotgun shells and have us shoot them out of his barn. The birds do one thing consistently. They poop everywhere. I kid you not. So, load another one in there. It's like loading shells. And this works pretty well. The spring keeps moving the candle up as it burns down and keeps it up by the top. There we go. So, there's a little Mama Jim. Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming in. Merry Christmas Eve. So, I had all 4 of these going yesterday. Today it's still in the sub-zero weather. I think tomorrow we'll actually get above zero. There'll be much rejoicing. Yay! So the wife is thinking they now have a new pet, which is a dove. We'll see if it shows up again. It realizes that the deck is considerably warmer than the rest of the outside. Although it's not inherently without dangers, Minx is a very proficient hunter. So now I got all the candles switched out. Use my magical fire producing device. And then you just put it over the top. So I do like the tea candles because they're a lot easier to change than that. But these put out considerably more heat. There we go. Got locked in. Now I got bolt lanterns going. Woo-hoo-hoo. 2 points. Yay. Let me catch back up here. Good morning, Beaverines. That's right. You guys see the happy beaver that I posted on there? I found it on Facebook. It's a koala, but I like the look on it. So if you're new in chat, don't forget to say hello. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So right now, I'm going to show you how I started, get everything started. Because I got bacon and Italian sausage in there cooking. And that'll be added to the rest of it. I got potatoes I'm getting ready here to chop up. However, good food takes time to cook. Don't be in a hurry. I was watching a video, and the scientist was going on saying that he was talking about the rates of autism per population. And he said back in like pre-1960s, the cases of autism were 1 out of 150,000 children. Then in the 80s or 90s, it was like 1 out of, I don't have these numbers exact, but you can probably find it out there, but it was considerably more common, like maybe 1 out of 50,000. And now it's 1 out of like 88 kids. Now, what are the factors? Well, there's a few. I think there's some overdiagnosing. My wife's a teacher, and a lot of the kids are put on prescription drugs to calm them down. When I was a kid, that means we were just antsy. We didn't have ADH or ABCs or whatever heck they all are now. Otherwise, I think if I was born in this age, they would have put me on what's that, Ritalin? What's that drug, hon? Ritalin? Thought she was there. No, she must be down in the basement. But they probably would have put me on that. I didn't see myself as being handicapped by it. I just had a lot of energy. And I was able to put that energy towards other things, towards study, towards sports. I think if anything, it helped me make the man I am today. Army had a lot to do with that too. You ever watched the movie Starship Troopers? It's one of my favorites. There's a scene in there where guy's sitting there, he's missing an arm and a leg, saying mechanized infantry has made me the man I am today. Pepper Cowboy, Merry Christmas, good morning. All righty. So I've got my normal crowd in here, which I appreciate. Thank you. If you haven't popped in and say hi, please do. This is my let's get the breakfast started party. So as the sausage cooks up, I break it in a little more pieces. Once the bacon gets cooked, I will pull it out. I'll actually pull out the meat briefly and get the potatoes cooked and then add it all back in. So that's where some of those dishes come from. Oh, you added things back in. Taking out, adding in. Taking out, adding. So I get the potatoes all set up for it. I can put onions in. I think I do have a half onion from yesterday. There it is. We made chili, and it was good. And for the first time, I didn't make 3 times more than I was going to eat. So I've been known to, shock surprise, to make more food than necessary at a time. But then it's like, there's our lunch for the next day or two. But this time I made just enough chili. There's a little bit left over, but not a lot. For the 2 of us. For the 2 of us. So, hey, it only took 60 years. I finally figured that out. Once again, everybody, thanks for stopping in. The picture that you've seen is the wife and I when we were dating. And it was one of the first selfies taken with a full-size camera. So I took selfies before selfies were even a thing. So you could say I invented it, I just didn't patent it. Had I known. Another thing was a buddy of mine, an army buddy of mine, we were looking in the back of a Dragon magazine back in the 80s, and they were advertising the opportunity to invest in an idea called Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles. And with a very small investment, we could have got into it. And remember saying to each other, oh, this will never take off. Who would be dumb enough to invest in this? And we've been regretting that ever since. You never know. It's one of those decisions we wish we had a redo on. But otherwise, I got the potatoes all chopped up. I'll chop up the onion later because they cook faster than taters. Kill it and grill it. Merry Christmas. Good morning. Thanks for popping in. I didn't kill it and grill it. I caught the dove and let it go this morning. Call me a softy. But if I hunt, I want to hunt. I don't want to just catch them by hand. It kind of seems like, I don't know, cheating. You know, using my true and bad things. So, we'll see tomorrow if it's back on the deck. I imagine if I had a bird feeder, it'd be more of a common occurrence. And that's the main reason why I do not have a bird feeder. Because then they have more birds coming up here. Well, birds do one thing when they fly. They poop. They poop, they get a little bit lighter. And we have bird poop all over the cars. Which doesn't make the wife happy. Ethan, good morning. Hello. I seen that. I did look at it. I haven't commented on it. Awesome. You're giving me something I got to catch up to, which I like. I always like a challenge. Never back away from a challenge. Challenges, friendly competitions are always fun and make you a better person and usually push me to higher levels. Body beat down and I are kind of a friendly challenge between shoulder presses. Made us both better at it. A friend of mine who runs Shore Fitness, Vince Robbins, him and I will do a challenge on incline benches, and we'll both drive ourselves to much heavier weights, and we also would do it on military also. So those are fun things to get into. The bigger the bird, the bigger the poop. Yep. I got a blue and gold macaw. Yeah, that's a big bird. Those things live for what, 100, 150 years? But it was a nice healthy dove. As in 2 days in a row she's been in here. She or he, I don't know, I didn't check. And I'm hoping doesn't make a habit out of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to invite it for dinner permanently. So basically now I've got kind of cut the sausage up in a little more pieces. Waiting for the bacon to get fully cooked. And I cook at a low heat, whether I'm on the power burner or the standard burner. This is supposed to be a standard burner. Or no, actually, I think this is a power burner too. To give you an idea how it's cooking down. And then I will use that grease to fry the potatoes in. And then I will add the meat back into it once the taters are done and onions. And then it'll be a couple eggs over everything. See what I missed now. 80 to 90 at least. What did I miss? Yeah, 80 to 90 years at least. Yeah, absolutely. I have 9 pigeons and 3 baby pigeons. There you go. And pigeons, very similar to doves, a little bit bigger. I did a parrot rescue for many, many years. Oh, awesome. So the only way I end up with birds is they fall out of the tree. I had a pet robin when I was younger. Big storm come through and knocked it out of his nest. It was not even had feathers yet. I brought it in the house and fed it. I go out and dig up worms and feed it by hand. And I fed it full size. You know, used to let it go all outside. Then I'd come walking back by the pines and whistle for it and land on my shoulder. Of course, when it take off, it'd poop on my shoulder. I went through about 3-4 t-shirts a day because of it. And then finally winter came and I'm hoping it went south. That's what I'm hoping for. I also had a cat and a dog at the time. And it would stay on the ground a lot. So there was a chance that the cat got it. But I didn't see any evidence of that. So I'll live with my hope that it made it free. Mama Jen just wanted to stop in and say, oh, I appreciate it. Gotta start that cooking, I know it. Doing Christmas Day with my stepdaughters. Hope everybody's fine. Ark Wild Man, Merry Christmas. Good morning. Thanks for stopping in. This will be first Christmas where it's just the missus and I. We were going to sports with a Suno from India. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining in. This will be the first Christmas as just the mom and I. Well, the second one. I think when we first got married, we had one just us. Well, we went and seen the family. We were going to go to Missouri, but then this weather happened, and it was just too dangerous to be traveling. And I didn't want to be away from the house in case we lost power. Otherwise, plumbing breaks and all that stuff. Remember to keep your water running, keep your faucets dripping, flush your toilets. Every now and then, I'll just run the water for no reason, just to get the moving through the pipes. As long as the water is moving through the pipes, It keeps them from freezing up. At least that's the plan. Now I got the we're going to pull the sausage out of there and add it back in later. I don't want to overcook it when I'm cooking the potatoes. So what separates a mediocre breakfast to a is the effort you put into it. Sausage out. We'll add it back in later. I'm still letting the bacon cook all the way. And then I'll be adding the, and of course, the potatoes I put in my secret spices, which has been given out. The cat let it out. It's ground black pepper and sea salt. Let me see. Da-da-da-da. Yep, so Merry Christmas to everybody. So we'll be adding an onion into this one. And then the eggs, I'll mix the eggs up and I use that kind of as a, kind of holds everything together. So yesterday I did 2 taters, today I'm doing 3. Need the extra calories for, oops. I got that in there too. Need the extra calories for the cold weather. I like to rinse my dishes before I throw them in the dishwasher, just to keep them a little bit cleaner. Mrs. Scottish Fitness made a bunch of cookies yesterday. She made some sugar cookies and some chocolate chip cookies. Get the lid down, they don't dry out. And if your cookies do start drying out, a trick is just throw a slice of bread in the container and reseal it, and then the cookies will absorb the moisture from the bread, and it'll make the cookies soft again. So a little trick there. So, we got the furnace set, I think, at 63. And between the burner, the 2 lanterns, I've got the kitchen in here pretty warm. I'm going to have to get one of those thermals in here, but I bet you I've got the kitchen about 68 degrees in here. Almost need a fan to blow it out in the main living room. So I'm going to take the 2 lanterns out and put them out in the living room. Oh. So I'll also now put the bacon in here and then add taters. Yep, tater special. Now I'm going to cut down the heat because you're seeing that smoke rise, and it tells me that I got a little more heat than I need. Luckily, the potatoes will cool things down. Randy, good morning, Merry Christmas. I imagine it's about the same temperature in Missouri that it is here. You might have a degree or 2 better now. Pop them in here. gonna take about 15 minutes to get these cooked where I want them. So the secret spices of salt and pepper. I tell you, when I was getting them from the garden, oh my goodness. Now that I get the taters in there, I now cut up some onions, where they're also as usual, all the food scraps go in the food bucket. Food bucket gets full. I take them out to the garden, and they provide nutrients for soil for next year for my garden. And I will probably double the output that I did last year. There, so I got all the onions there ready to go. Next thing I'll do is the eggs. I'll reuse one of the dishes I just cleaned. So eggs are anywhere from about 6 to 8 grams of protein per egg. I do have some jumbos. I think eggshells go in there. And those I usually throw in heavy concentrations where I'm going to be planting tomatoes. That helps with the tomatoes. So I usually have fresh eggs for this. My supply has dried up, so the chickens get bigger, and then of course when it gets really cold, they don't lay as much. I did ask them to bring some over to have that. Until then, fortunately, I have to rely on store-bought. The store-bought are almost $5 a dozen now. 7 jumbos is plenty. I fill this up about every other day. Give you an idea as how much is going into the ground on a yearly basis. End up getting probably about 150 potatoes this year out of the garden, which I definitely enjoyed. Let me see and catch up on chat here. Didn't realize it was getting cold enough to kick on the burning wood stove and not generating heat. Yeah. So Thursday we had minus 30. We had wind chill and snow. Yeah, I think we got down about minus 38 wind chill. Called the company that installed it on Friday. They came out that day and replaced the heating unit under the warranty. Well, it's good. Let me tell you, 52 inside is cold. Yeah, it's getting a little cold. Wally is tall. Wally, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining in. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And Merry Christmas, everybody. So now it's working, and we are toasty. There you go. Yeah, 50 pretty low. We set the thermostat at 60 at night. And usually during the day, we try to keep it around 63, 64. At night, sometimes the missus will kick it up to 66. But that's as heavy as we ever set it. After that, just we start getting congested, and that just doesn't do well. So, trick on the potatoes, come slow, keeping them moving from time to time. If you cook them on high heat, what you end up doing is you end up burning the outside, and it's still not cooked in the inside, depending on how big of a chunks you made. Show some biceps. Woo! There's where the real power is. I'm officially now can be called Grandpa. October 23rd, my grandson was born. So I'm enjoying it. Got a beard going. This is the longest I've ever let the beard grow. In the 40 years I've been growing it. I had my buddy heater going in the kitchen when I was cooking. It works great. And I have 2 of those now. If you don't have a buddy heater, go ahead and look it up. And then I found a deal on Walmart. I think actually one of the Beaverines or on one of the other channels let me know about it. So they had a 9,000 BTU buddy heater. That's usually, if you're in the store, it's like $164. But you could buy it online with free delivery for $74. So I bought it online. So I have a 9,000 BTU one, and then I have one that can do 9, 15, or 18,000 BTUs. I haven't had to use them, but I do have those. I have another propane heater for the deck if I wanted to use it. And of course, I got the candeliers, which I had earlier out here. And I got warm here in the kitchen. I almost warm where I need to take the sweatshirt off and put a shirt on. It's getting that warm. I'm starting to overheat. So I'll be right back. I got all right. This is better. I was starting to get overheated. You don't want to get overheated. So there's the bicep ones. Woo! I got the eggs going. Potatoes, get them cooked a little bit further before I add the onions. Once I add the onions, I'll add the meat back into it. Cook it for about another 5 minutes. And then I'll throw the eggs in. Usually 4 slices of bacon is enough. Give me enough grease. And I'm using the store-bought bacon, the cheap stuff. 2 slices will be enough because that is mostly fat. That's what I buy from the butcher. Let me look here. Got your dehydrator Thursday night to keep the kitchen warm. Oh, okay. Trouble is I'm out of woe. I have to go out of wood probably. I have to go outside today, split it off. At least it's sunny. Yeah, hopefully the wind will slow down too. We had Polish sausage and eggs for breakfast. So I got Italian sausage, bacon, taters, onions, and eggs. And that's eaten done good. So I got 2 more candeliers I got to change the candles on. I'll do that later. We got plenty of cookies to eat. I think we're doing chicken tonight. Doing chicken or lasagna? The chicken or lasagna tonight, hon? Lasagna. And then chicken will be for tomorrow. I don't get lasagna off of it. When I get it, it is good. Yep. You're getting there. You gotta be patient. So I had some coffee and a couple chocolate chip cookies before I started breakfast. So I keep myself going. Everybody, thanks for the thumbs up and Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping in. If you haven't popped in and say hello, please do. Thank you, Christopher. Hey, Lone Wolf, think my head's over easy. Extra sausage. You make a trip. I'll cook them. I imagine it's a bit warmer where you're at. So, but at least it's not too terribly windy. And the sun's out. But it's still a good day to stay inside. I might go for a walk. I'm not sure if post office running today or not. You know, I either take a day off after or the day before. When you have a holiday that falls on a weekend. So So I don't know. I do not know. I'm ready. Got that going. It's good to go. It's a nice warm day. I think it's gonna be a good day for some Baileys and hot coffee. Hubby had a small ceramic heater for the room. It generates a lot of heat at a low setting. That's good. So I have a radiant one that I bought when I ran the Sears in Peru. That's upstairs. That really takes care of the bedroom. I light a couple candles, but it's more for ambiance. And then I got a ceramic one downstairs. I do have a huge living room. There's a lot of air there. Got my cactus that we started about that big. My wife's classroom. Then I'd have to rescue it. And then I've had to cut it down twice. Let me see if you can see it through there. There we go. That's the big cactus there, where that glare is. And of course, Binks is comfortably sleeping in my chair. With the weather being as cold as it was, she actually has got to stay inside mostly. Most of the day, we do let her out and make her go bathroom. So I'm not putting the kitty box in here. But she has slept inside the last 2 nights. Just slept in my chair. She was fine. She did get in trouble, though. You check out my MacBean Farms and Prepping. She almost ruined it for herself. Got into the attic and was not being helpful for me to get her out of there. She got herself in a situation that she couldn't get herself out of. I said, you picked the wrong time to do this. And she's been behaving. I better check on her, make sure she hasn't wandered. Nope. She's sleeping in my chair. And then once I sit down, then she'll hop right back in my lap. Well, yeah, I had to. I mean, it was -0 out there, 30 below with the wind chill. Even though I have the deck covered, even though I have a cat house there for her, it was just too severe of weather to let her out there. It was actually weather like that caused her to become a pet. Because for 6 years, she had nothing to do with us. One time it was cold. She's at the front door and I fed her. And then the wife sat there and let her in the house. That started the whole problem. I wouldn't have let her in, but Mrs. Guy's Fitness got too attached. Not listening to me. So, everybody, once again, thanks for stopping in. I no longer sell mass, but thanks anyway. Well, I do. All right. If you don't, that's fine. It is America here. Free to do what I do. Got kids, got grandkids coming. I am a bit of a Scrooge most of the time, but I have mellowed a little bit in old age. My wife's also son. Wife is big time Christmas, so that kind of keeps me focused. Well, you didn't do it or not, Merry Christmas anyway. Let's see what I got. Big Buddy keeps the family room in the basement at 74. Wow, that's warm. It's more upstairs. That's good to hear because I haven't eaten. Hey, Body Beat Down. Merry Christmas. Welcome. Hit the weights for deadlifts. Got to go get things done. Everybody. Yeah, well, thank you for stopping in. Merry Christmas. And I will be back in the gym on Monday morning, hitting it heavy. And then, because I'm off and Mom's off, we'll probably go and do something fun. Maybe you can take me out to dinner. Ray Lewis, Merry Christmas. Thanks. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Hopefully you're a subscriber. If not, please do. It helps things. So taters, not quite done yet though. I had to kick up the heat a little bit. I'm going to pop it up a little bit more. We're soon to be able to, and then I also throw some cheese over the whole thing too. So it's a very, very, very protein-filled breakfast. So that, we'll put this away. Give us another stir. There we go. Let me check over here.
What? He won the court case.
There we go.
Are you done?
No, I'm not. Still rolling. So I think it is time to add the onions. And then when I put the onions in, I add the meat back in. So the bacon, I'm going to break up in bacon bits. Here, up the sausage in there. Stir it up. So, yeah, looking good. Huh? Yes, I can put it back.
That's all right. Never mind.
What?
I can talk to you. You only look at me. I saw you before.
So, cooking, we're just waiting for the onions to get sauteed. Then we'll pour the eggs over everything. And then we'll flip it a few times, and then we'll sprinkle some cheese. Recipes don't have to be difficult. They just have to be cooked. Get that back down low. Slowly. All right, let's see if I catch up on some of my comments here. Stool here. All righty, Merry Christmas. It's gonna be a hard day for me. First Christmas will be alone. Well, I'm sorry. Twisted Pixie, Merry Christmas. And, thanks for joining in. You're part of the Beaverine family from John Prepper Nation. If you don't follow that, if you do, it's kind of a neat one to do. I am into reading his book about, I say, a third way through, and I'm enjoying the book. Now he's saying it was one of the first ones he wrote, and I guess one out there he has, it's called Wicked. That's supposed to be real good, so that'll probably be the next one I get. We're at 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And the wind chill is only -10. Heat wave. There we go. Breaking out the speedo. Absolutely. About the buddy heater as it goes through propane. Yeah, I'm sure it does, especially at high settings. But you have to burn fuel to produce heat. And I have been buying those 1 pound canisters, a couple at a time for 3 years, so I do have plenty. For here, I think it's probably around. What's the temperature, babe? We make it above 0 yet?
I think it did.
He is reading Wicked now. He's really enjoying it. Awesome.
7.
Yeah, so it's 7 degrees here. We got a heat wave going.
But feels like -15.
But feels like -15. Well. Well, that's awesome. I've been reading Wicked. I think maybe you're the one that told me that was the one to get. I sent John an email. Told him I had a picture of him with my, I had his book, and my cat just hopped in my lap, so the cat was helping me read. And he said, "Oh, you should read Wicked. That was 10 years after this." I said, "So that'll probably be the next one." But I am enjoying Gunship. And I'm not a writer, I'm a reader. But it's an enjoyable book. So my next purchase probably will be Wicked. It's because he actually suggested it, and now here, Prepper Artist here suggested it too. So that'll probably be the next one I get. I was going to go through the Gunship series, but I can take my time with that. The thing with me is I go through books very quickly. I've been purposely setting this one off to the side, but I'm a third way through it, and I got it 2 days ago. And it's a lot of pages. How many pages? I don't know. They weren't numbered. You've got to talk to the publisher. All right. Gotta make sure this meat's getting cooked. There we go. Just a few minutes away from add the eggs in there and then sprinkle in the cheese. And I'll be all ready to roll. So, everybody remember, have a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe out there. I didn't go to work yesterday because state police said stay off the roads. So I did. And we're looking at all the bad accidents happening. People died in these accidents. And, sometimes you just have to tell work, for the money, it's not worth risking my life. So did I give up some pay? I did. But then again, they weren't doing anything anyway. And I can make it up later when the weather's better. I love to read. Almost wish we would have a grid down so I could just read. Yeah. So, did you ever watch any Twilight Zone? Proper Artist. That was, young kid, Twilight Zone was the thing to read. And there's one where a guy, that's all he wants to do. Of course, the Twilight Zone, it doesn't end well. But usually around New Year's, they have the Twilight Zone episode. So lots of wind in Illinois. Yes, there is. Especially when you're out here in the farmland and you don't have a lot of trees blocking it. Now, luckily for me, to the northeast and southwest of me, I have woods. And then I do have a lot of trees on my property, so it does help. Yeah, 5 to 6 hours of medium, about 4 hours or less on high. Twilight Zone Marathon on New Year's. I always watch it. Actually, a couple of years ago, I actually managed to see an episode I hadn't seen before. It's a rarity, but it happened. So one more stir, and then the eggs go in. Oh, yeah. It's looking like soup now. It's looking like soup now. Any moment now. You had no eggs in. Should have put enough in there for Mrs. Scottish Fitness. I wonder what she's going to eat. She heard me. She just don't believe it. So time to add the eggs in. It doesn't take long to cook the eggs, especially when you stir them up like this and you got them over a large area. and more of the magic spices. So that's kind of what it looks like now. Now you're tempted to make a omelet out of it, but I stir it in there. Wife would rather not it be omelet-like. That's the word. Now, when you first stir in, I sprinkle some mild cheddar cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. Sometimes it's Gouda. And not a lot, just enough to add flavor and texture. Then on mine, I put steak sauce over it. Mm-mm-mm. Making early to watch the original Iron Chef Marathon. There you go. Oh, this is looking good. Nope. That's the iffy part. Alrighty. Another stir. Right back. Alright, one more flip. And we should be just about ready. Oh, there we go. Very close, very close. Another 2 minutes, and dinner will be soy. Breakfast will be served. So, once again, everybody, Merry Christmas, and thanks for joining in. Thanks for everybody hitting the thumbs up. Perfect doesn't exist. Maybe not, but sometimes there's perfect moments. You know, and it's what you make out of it. You know, you can look at anything in both a positive or negative way. Sometimes only a negative way, but sometimes you can turn a negative into a positive. I never complain because I'm very blessed with good health and a good family. And people always say that. Well, you never complain about anything. I said, there's nothing to complain about. The little stuff, I don't sweat it. Because on the big stuff and the stuff that really is important, I am truly blessed. And I hope everybody is truly blessed too. concentrate on things that you're blessed, and other things will diminish. Okay, always look at the bright side of life. It doesn't mean go through classes, but it does mean listen. Be thankful for the things that you have and the people that you have, and those bumps in the road sometimes are just bumps in the road. And turn off the damn news. My coworker is young and he's paying attention to everything. Did you see? Did you see? Did you see? And I'm like, not really, because it just makes you angry. I keep aware, but that's about it. So, oh my goodness, I am. This is good. Whew. Candle's getting a little warm. Now I sit there. Probably made a little bit too much, but that's okay. We used to say eggs are cheap. Not so much now. There we go. And it's called breakfast at the MacBeans. Woo, woo, woo. Well, everybody, thanks for joining in. Have a very Merry Christmas. Hope Santa Claus is good to you. If you've been naughty or nice, sometimes naughty is nice. And I do thank you for joining in. I thank you for hitting the pops up, the comments, and I thank you for the support on this channel. It does help keep me motivated to keep you motivated. So remember, rest, nutrition, proper exercise form, proper mental attitude. And physical exercise will help with the mental attitude. Yeah, I mean, it can be any sort of exercise. It can just be lifting milk jugs, just doing raises. Sometimes just your body weight. You can do shoulder exercises just like this, no weight at all. I guarantee you do small circles and big circles of 15 to 20. You do 5-6 sets of those, you will feel it. So try to get at least a half hour of physical activity in 3 days a week. And that will help you for a more healthy and happier life. So once again, Merry Christmas. It's time for me to eat breakfast and enjoy the rest of the day. And I will see you for sure on Monday. I don't know if I'll be doing a Christmas breakfast or not. I will see how AT&T will treat me. And thank you once again. Oh, it's not a lot. There we go.